Hey yo! What's happening? Now you're going, oh my god, he's wearing shorts! Have to do an update because as with any technology, updates are always required. Have Nikon D750 here. If you have a larger buffer camera, it really doesn't even matter anymore what your frames per second are, whether it's a Nikon D810 or not. The point is that update and recommendation on SD cards. The SanDisk 32 gigabyte Extreme Pro UHS-1. It's an SDHC U3 memory card. On the very top speed memory cards like this now, you're dropping below $1 a gig. Right now they're $29.96 at B&H Photo. I'm sure they're the same price at a few other places. Oh, by the way, never buy SD cards on eBay. Don't do it. The reason being is that an SD card looks like an SD card until you stick that little sticker on there, and then it looks like whatever the hell you want it to be. There's some serious... Never buy Never buy SD or compact flash cards from China. They'll actually, they're even the little laser print, the little serial number on the back. Of course, it'll be random nonsense. It's just, you can't trust it. Of course, the SanDisk cards come from China also. But SD card looks like an SD card. So don't buy them, and don't buy them on eBay unless it's from, a huge seller like B&H or somebody else like them. You just don't want to buy memory cards because there are more than a few instances of people that have tried to crank up the frames per second on continuous high on your camera. It's like, oh my god, for some reason this card must be defective. It's writing, but it's we got buffer issues, and the reason is they're shipping out junker slower cards, and they're putting copies of SanDisk and Lexar and other people's sticker on the front of the SD card, so don't do it. So now the really only recommendation is, it's like, well, before, as technology progresses, things change. Before it's like, well, I can only afford... Now things are easier. Things have gotten so cheap that you can only make one recommendation on an SD card now. And that's just, you basically have to say to hell with it, and it's less than $1 a gig. So why, regardless of what camera you have, why would you buy anything other than the fastest? And so that's the SD card you want to get, and here it is on B&H's website. I'm not saying you have to buy from them, but that is the card. But at $1 a gig, and it's the fastest. If you got a D810, D750, D7... I don't care what you've got. It's less than $1 a gig now. It's ridiculous. And I think they've even got a package where if you buy like 3 cards or more, they even give you a deeper discount. So that's the card that you want to get. And do not buy compact flash cards or SD cards off of eBay, because they all look the same. And all they have to do is make a beautiful counterfeit sticker to stick on the front, and then the card becomes whatever the hell they want it to become. And that ain't good, baby. So, let me know if you got any other questions or whatnot. I am still I mowed the grass a few hours ago, and I'm just worn the heck out after moving all this furniture and putting the studio back up, moving it from the back room where I didn't have anywhere near the throw space for getting back as I do here. So a few people have complained about the ugly backdrop. Well, you throw it out of focus, it actually looks nice, and I got 12 other backdrops to choose from, so don't worry about what backdrop I throw up behind me. I do a couple of headshots here in a few days. I'll change it halfway through. Okay, don't worry about my backdrop. By the way, best product in the entire world. I am no fan of Apple Incorporated. I used to be #1 person in the world for answering tech support questions on the MacBook Air. I've got absolutely no love for Apple Incorporated. And I thought Steve Jobs was one of the most despicable, horrible people. He's obviously no criminal, but he was a despicable person. So I had no love for Steve Jobs at all. So, my loyalty to Apple is non-existent. I love a good product, but I have to give a shout out to the MacBook Air. I've owned so many literally hundreds of laptops. and there's never been anything even close to how fine the MacBook Air is. I don't care what you think of Apple, because I've got no love for Apple. I've got their logo tattooed on me permanently for life, but that's something different, you know. I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but maybe I shouldn't have worn shorts in this video because I might shock some people, but I made a video before with a monopod where I was wearing shorts and people could see it. Hey, who gives a damn, right? It's summertime anyway. Ow, I just pinched the hell out of my finger. That was so much fun. This is what happens when you're tired.